Hello everybody and welcome to a video. This is a Gangplank video where I get a barrel combo. That's the end of the video. Thanks for... Wait, it's still going. Oh, that's right. This is the Veigar Chronicles. Okay. Well, it's the only Veigar Chronicles video, I should say. Because I've only played one Veigar game in this video. And believe it or not, I get it. You know, I really get it. Much like how I do not get that teleport glitch with Spellbook. I think it's a glitch. Admittedly, I do not know exactly precisely how Spellbook works. Does it have something to do with game time? I can't say 100% for sure that it does not. So you really got me there, Scottress. But yeah, here we are in the Veigar Chronicles. We're playing a Veigar game in a Veigar lane against LeBlanc and Nocturne. A 2v1 obviously, as per usual. But, yeah. Okay. So, Veigar, I don't think he brings the presence that you need in a mid laner in solo queue in the confines of low gold. Allow me to explain. Veigar has trouble roaming to other lanes. A big part of mid lane in low gold is roaming to other lanes. You exert your map pressure, right? And when I say lanes, I also mean the jungler. There's a top, bot, mid, and jungle. Those are like the 4 lanes. That's my current understanding of the game anyway. But on Veigar, you got to be able to impact these 4 areas. Now, at the moment, top, I mean, you could just kind of leave top alone because if the enemy mid goes top, then you just go bot. And even if you don't get anything, you've pretty much been just about as impactful as his gank on top lane, regardless of what happens up there. But that's the reality of bot lane at the moment, and it's been that way for quite some time. Anyway, so you got these lanes, and the mid laner has to be able to impact them. So what does that mean? The mid laner has to be able to safely get to bot lane. The mid laner has to be able to, you know, if he runs, like say the mid laner runs into the enemy jungler, that's a big problem for Veigar, right? The enemy mid does not have to be able to beat the enemy jungler at this point in time, but Veigar can't just not beat like a Nocturne. He also can't escape a Nocturne, right? He can't run away. The Nocturne's faster. Nocturne's just going to spell shield to stun. It's a problematic situation for Veigar to move out of lane, especially with the vision control that exists in low gold, right? Vision control exists in low gold, much like the fission control in an exploded nuclear reactor. All right, guys, none of it, or there's none of it. Okay. So long story short, this is my only Veigar game, but I'm still calling it the Veigar Chronicles because you know what? I went into this mission with a purpose, and that purpose was to do a Veigar Chronicles. May return to it at some point, but that point's not gonna be for a little while at least. Might even be a big while. What are you trying to do? Put size constraints on a while? Think you're some sort of madman? No. I don't think so. What I think is that you're just a little bit too controlling over the word a while, even though that's 2 words. Okay, fine. Over the phrase a while, right? Anyway, here on the Dakota with Meeval's YouTube channel, Experience Extraordinaire, we like to come up with new phrases, and a while is not one of them. You've heard the phrase a while many times, perhaps. Maybe just a couple times. Maybe less many's. Less many's? How about less pennies? That's right. Because you know what, dude? Let's talk about freaking cash money, dude. Cash money in the form of just pennies. You ever go into a bank with coins? By the way, there's no place near me that exchanges coins for bills or coins for paper currency without taking a cut. To me, that seems strange. Like you would think that might be a service of some place, a free service of some place, but it's, you know, not near me at least. Not anyway. We're kind of getting a little bit too on topic for the spirit of a Chronicles video here on the Dakota Meatballs YouTube channel, Experience Extraordinaire. So we really got to tone it back here. In this fight, this is an important fight because it showcases the strength of a Veigar. And I had no idea that his late game was so strong. I mean, I've gotten off 3 cages in this fight. The cage has a super long stun duration, right? It's, how long is it? 2¼ seconds? Maybe it's even as long as Morgbind and it's AoE? You kidding me? I got it off 3 times. And the damage, dude. The damage from the W. The Q is okay, but the W is what really gets me going here. It almost inspired me to play Veigar another game. But alas, I did nay. By the way, I should mention, no matter the problems that a mid laner might have in low gold, just play whoever, dude. Because the honest truth of the matter is that, especially in low gold here, skill is the ultimate counter to whatever, right? You know, I've heard stories about top lane Sona mains, and they're just chilling out in Diamond. I've heard stories about all sorts of things like this, and it just works because they use skill to counter the champion counter, right? Top lane Sona, you're going to go against champions who are stronger than you. That's just the fact of the matter. But the top lane Sona has more skill, and it's enough skill to make up for the difference in base champion strength. And I think that's a cool thing. I think that means that there's a lot more champion diversity than people give the game credit for. You know, people talk about there's over 140 champions, and they talk about only so few of them being playable. But I think, on the alternative, for the vast majority of players, the vast majority of champions are playable, if not every single one of them. Disregarding extreme cases where some problematic balance issue has actually occurred. Side note, shout out to the balancing of whatever, because no matter how good or bad you think the balance is, fact of the matter is that balancing the game is difficult. On pretty much doing anything with a game on this scale, I'm pretty sure, is difficult. Let's just be frank about it, right? Let's not even come up with names. Let's be 2 dudes talking about it. And now let's not be talking about it, because that's right, here on the Dakota Meatballs YouTube channel, Experience Extraordinaire, we like to change topics every now and then. And in this topic, we're going to talk about how I still never orange early enough. Never, of course, being an over-exaggeration. I do orange early enough most of the time, but sometimes I am ill-prepared and unaware for the damage coming my way, and I just can't get that perfect orange timed quite right. But what I do get is some ultimates that hopefully help fights. And do they? Well, not in this particular match. This is the match where our jungler said she forgot Smite and then just hung out in top lane. And that was fun for a while. Based on the state of the game, spoiler alert, you probably know it from just pure spiritual essence. You know what? I'm not going to spoil it. I'm not going to spoil it, dude. The question is, you know, I put this game into the video, and a huge barrel combo like that comes through. So the question is, can we stall it out long enough so that Vi becomes at least relevant enough that we could kill their one fed member in Master Yi and come back for the victory from a jungler who forgot Smite and then decided to duo lane for the better part of the game. I should say not duo lane, but just, you know, stand in lane. There's a difference there. I guess she did supply some pressure, but in the end, I'm trying to duel this Ezreal, and in the end, he cuts me down. And in the end, dude, look at this Master Yi dive, okay? This is the fedness of this man. He just dives me, I run to the center of my Nexus towers, and he just comes on out unscathed, my brother. He's out of there. And you know what, dude? Props to him. I mean, he's really coming through with all of the, what do they call it? You know, I'm gonna snap like I'm trying to remember the word and or phrase. But if I don't remember the word, that's a problem. But remember, here on the Dakota Meatballs YouTube channel, Experience Extraordinaire, we come up with our own phrases on a day-to-day basis. So, fact of the matter is that no matter what phrase we choose here at this moment, it's going to be a Dakota Meatball special, or just a real phrase. So, win-win either way, or either way. Do you say either, or do you say either? I wonder if there's a correlation between those two pronunciations and the two pronunciations for Shaco and Shaco. These are the questions, and I do not have the answers because you need to be level 42 for the answers, and I've only just merely hit level 41. Game time is 3 minutes. Enemies taken, the Mountain Drake. It's not starting off too well, especially since we've got a Shyvana. Shyvana, I'm learning, is a problem. in low gold. But you know what? I can't stop banning Trist. Because guess who's more of a problem? Trist. You guessed it. At least with Shyvana? Yeah, listen. Okay, at least with Shyvana, I actually don't know any discernible difference. They're both freaking super strong. I should have Zhonya's the brand Q coming in, but I didn't think about it. And by Zhonya's, I do mean stopwatch. But you know what, dude? Sometimes you make mistakes. Anyway, this is why this is the finer. This is why this is the only Veigar Chronicles video. It's because this is a sign from higher powers that there should not be a Veigar Chronicles just yet. Do you say Veigar or Veigar or something else? I just realized there's a lot of pronunciations, possible pronunciations. Anyway, the higher power is saying, do not do the Veigar Chronicles just yet. Why? Well, the first Veigar game, I feel like I learned a lot. That was nice. That was dandy. Second Veigar game, I got my secondary role, so I ended up playing Gangplank. That was the second game in this video. And third Veigar game, we've been autofilled to Soraka. Interestingly enough, when I was playing top lane there for a good long time, I don't recall getting, you know. So that's good, right? If it's not good, then what is it? Neutral? Dare I say bad? I'm not gonna say that. Come on. You expect me to just say the word, the B word? The B-A-D word? I ain't gonna say jack. I ain't gonna say jack. So after some of these team fights in the Soraka game, I would feel like I had made some mistakes in the fight, and I would be able to actually point them out post-fight, you know, 1 second after the fight. But in the moment, I just couldn't pull it through. And this is, I'm fairly confident that this is a fact of me just being not as proficient on Soraka, just from lack of experience on Soraka. That Swain burst is insane burst. They call it insane burst. I'm cool with that. And if there's no they that calls it that, then again, this is the Dakota Equals YouTube channel experience extraordinaire. We can call it that. We can make our own phrases, dude. Create your own reality. It is that something. I'm not gonna spoil it. If you don't know the video, go check it out. If you do know the video, check it out again. The amount of times I've watched that video is more than 0. I've watched it enough to be able to know that there's what the joke is there, but not to be able to recall it word for word. You see what I'm getting at? And to all the people who don't know what video I'm talking about, then this whole segment of the Dakota YouTube channel Experience Extraordinaire Veigar Chronicles has just been completely irrelevant for you, but that's okay. You know what? We're going to bring it back to relevancy right now. Okay, listen up. Here we're playing Soraka. And your favorite color, apple? You like red or green or, I don't know, Granny Smith? You into the yellow ones? What are the yellow ones called? The yellow apple, do you know? I feel like I've seen a couple, but I feel like they might just have not been, they might just have been a variation of maybe one of the red ones, you know? Like, there's some orange going on in there. Come on. Hey, don't be trying to trick me here. There's some orange going on in them yellow apples, eh? Do you want to get it? If you just try to get on that place, it's like Dax Battle. It's the inhabitants, but that's get Crocs from the Grove Tower. Oh, but you know what? That's just a fact. And it's really hard to argue against facts without the proper, maybe contradictory scientific or mathematical evidence, you know? Do some sort of induction proof. It's up to you. The world is your oyster, whether or not you like shellfish. How's that for a phrase? Huh? Does it even mean anything? No. But could it? Sure. What would that phrase mean? Okay, we're gonna brainstorm this a little bit here, right as we're coming to, you know, the best part of the video. I'm guessing. What does the phrase life is your oyster unless you're a shellfish and you don't like boxes of chocolates, or what you know, whatever we were saying earlier. Like, what does it even all mean? And not just the phrase. What does it all mean, right? And then not just life either. All of it. All of it, okay? And what you think just I'm talking about all of it and I just mean the observable universe? No. Oh, so I'm talking about all of it and I mean including the rest of the universe? No, dude. All of it. Reality and conceptually. Okay? For example, as far as we know, there's no 10 billionth dimension in our three-dimensional universe. But that's a concept, right? 10 billionth dimension? That's part of it, dude. That's part of all of it. That's part of all of it that we're trying to understand out here at the great old-fashioned Dakota Meatballs YouTube channel Experience Extraordinaire, all right? It's an exploration of life is what this channel's all come down to, man. It's just an adventure. That's a one-word word that I could use to explain it. You might say to yourself, why don't you just say that's a word that you can use to explain it? No, dude, come on. Be realistic with me here. That's a one-word word, okay? You gotta quantify the word in some way, and you might be saying to yourself, you know, you learned in English class that just calling it a word that's not plural, so that's a self-quantifier as just being one word, and then it's like, no, dude, a self-quantifier is not even a real thing. You're just kind of making up that word and or phrase depending on whether you want to hyphenate it or just call it two words, dude. You know what I mean? And then I'm like, well, how do you know that it's not a freaking realistic thing? And then it's like, well, I don't even know, dude. I mean, there's a freaking crazy freaking world out there, right? There's a whole heck of a lot of ideas being thrown around at all sort of times, like this idea where their enemy team just one-shots both our carries. They just come into tower range and one-shot both our carries, and that's where it all goes downhill. So I'm trying to I don't know. We're just literally locked in the base against the Swain of all champions, a Swain. And you know what? Full circle here. Swain has the skill to counter us. Skill counters, champion counters. Strange encounters of the champion kind.